Hello everyone, I greet in the name of God Almighty. My name is Apostle Silas, and today I'm here with Nancy Grace, and today we are having a very interesting video to react to, and this one is actually a debate between the Bible and the Quran. And this video says that why did Prophet Muhammad marry his son's wife? Like, seriously, like, I actually saw this one at the comment section when I reacted to a video that was talking about the characters of Prophet Muhammad, and then somebody went there to says that there's a video that Muhammad married his son's like wife. Then I was just very shocked, how come, like, so I went on to check it out, and I saw this video, and I was like, I need to share it with you guys. I think so that maybe probably for more explanation or for more understanding like of what truly happened. So if today happens to be the first time of you checking out my channel, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on my Facebook and Instagram. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So guys, before we get on to the video, I'm a theologian, and I make this video not to discredit anyone's religion, thought and belief, but this is basically for educational purposes. And I believe that at the end of this video we all are going to learn from this. So let's get down to this video and then check this out.
There are other alleged revelations that were added. How about when Muhammad, he accidentally saw a scantily clad Zainab, the wife of his adopted son Zaid, and fell madly in love with her. Another timely revelation came along that was added to the Quran, Surah 33, 35 through 38, that Zaid should divorce Zainab so Muhammad could marry her. The revelation ended thus, quote, "The commandment of Allah must be fulfilled."
Now, Dave just spoke to us about an incident which is reported about the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, that he saw the wife of his adopted son, and he became attracted to her. That is not in the Quran. So a Muslim may take that story or leave it. Many Muslims think that is a fictitious story. Muslims themselves came up with stories to romanticize the life of the Prophet Muhammad, on whom be peace, in part to justify their own lechery sometimes. But the story itself, as Dave recounted it, shows that the Prophet Muhammad did not do anything with that lady until her husband himself divorced her. The usual waiting period was over, so all of the formalities were done, and then the Prophet Muhammad married her, took her as his wife. So everything was up and all decent. In the Bible, on the other hand, we read about David, and of course he's a man close to God. It says that he was a man after God's own heart. David saw the wife of Uriah, Bathsheba, as she herself was taking a bath. Isn't that curious? Bathsheba taking a bath. Anyway, and he became attracted to her, and he sent for her. And he, being the king, of course, she could not refuse. She went to his palace, and she conceived. Now, what was to be done? Because eventually Uriah will come back and find out that his wife got pregnant while he was out in battle. So David sent for Uriah to be brought back in. And David said, okay, go home, take a break and so on, hoping that this man will go home and have intercourse with his wife. And so when he discovers that his wife is pregnant, he will think, that was when I came back home for a vacation. But this man, being faithful to the king and faithful to the country, said, I'm not going to go home. I cannot go home while my comrades are out in the battlefield. I must go back and fight there. So the man went back. But David sent a letter with him, sealed, instructing the general to place this man in the front lines and to all fall back from him so that the enemy will kill him. And this was done. So we have two different images of David. One in the Quran, one in the Bible. In the Quran, he is a peaceful person, singing tunes. In the Bible, he's quite violent. We can see that there are two different books here, and I wish I didn't have to bring this up, but Dave has in a way cornered me into this. Having read his books and thought about what might be appropriate as a response, it seemed to me that this is the way it had to go.
Now, David was rebuked by Nathan the prophet for what he did, and some of the things that he cited, God rebuked him for that.
Now, Dave just said that Jephthah was not approved by God, and neither was David, because David was rebuked by Nathan. And he's correct about David, at least in the incident with Bathsheba. Yes, David was rebuked for that, and the child was killed, which seems weird, because to kill the child means you're punishing Bathsheba twice. First, she lost her husband in the battle. To begin with, she was in fact taken advantage of by the king. Second, her husband is made to die. And third, her son, which is flesh of her own flesh, now is killed as a punishment to David. But nobody bothers about, what about the woman? How does she feel about all of this?
That's a very interesting video, hearing some of the accounts of Prophet Muhammad of what happened with his son-in-law, even though Dr. Shagar is saying that like it was his adopted son-in-law, but whichever way, whether adopted or his son, you understand, in-law, like I don't even know how to just explain this, but let me hear from you first, like Nancy.
It's my first time of hearing this. Wow. So I was just listening for him to explain more about it, and he deviated explaining, talking about David and all that. So, but what I heard was that he did not do anything with the lady, I think, or having intercourse with the lady as a man of honor whom people are looking up to, as a head, as a prophet, that we have a certain way that we will live our life. We will live our life that others will emulate us. So it's expected of a leader to live a certain way so that those looking up to him will also live the right way. So that is just my own opinion, but at the same time, my Bible says we should not judge. But that is just the way, what I understand.
Well, that's a very interesting one too. Whether for me, like whether it was his son-in-law or adopted, for me, if it will be, let's say, it's his son-in-law and he decides to adopt her, it means that nobody forced him to adopt the son-in-law or the son, right, per se. The moment he adopts him and says that from today you are my son, even though with blood, maybe through blood they may not be related, but the moment you see that that person automatically become your son, and if you are to share anything that has to do with inheritance or whatever, it will also be, some portion will also be given to him, right? So I don't see it as a reason to say that because it was an adopted son, that's why he married her or something, even though Dr. Shadir is saying that like he waited until after, you understand, he divorced her. So the thing is, he is not even supposed in the first place to have a relationship with her, and then probably, we do not know, for the divorce, was the husband forced to divorce her so that the prophet can marry her or not? I don't know, but like this is just the first time I'm even just hearing this. But then when you look at Dr. Shadur explanation that David, look at Bathsheba, he have lust of her, we cannot be comparing David and Prophet Muhammad. Do you understand? Like, you get it, like, yeah, we don't have to be comparing they, because those ones okay, the difference is, of course, we as Christians, we see David as a king. We don't see David as
a prophet
or
a minister.
Do you understand? Like, the difference is, I know that like maybe probably in Islam they see David as a messenger, but we Christians don't see David as a messenger. We see David as a king. That's how we see David. And this is the reason why, if you look at it, like when we look at the book of Matthew, I think chapter 20 from 27 to 40 thereabout, that Jesus was talking about a brother died, and then the one take the wife, he died, and then they were asking him as a resurrection who will now be the husband and all that, and he was like, in heaven there is no husband, there is nothing like marriage, you understand? So there is nothing like, you understand, which one is going to be a husband and all that. And that's when he went on to say that you says in your scripture that the Son of Man is a son of David, that he is not a son of David. I don't know though, it's not about the Muslim, but it was through making some Bible research and studies that I got to see this part. But I don't know why pastors don't even talk about it when he says that he's not, you understand, the son of David. That's Jesus' word. Why do you think he says so? Do you understand? Because he was not even a prophet in the first place. David is just a king. That's how I see him. I see him as a king and not as a prophet. I see him as a king that God was using him. God was communicating with him, right? And that's when the Spirit of God will come over him, and then after that it leaves him. That's why kings are supposed to be at war, not at home. Don't forget, they are at war. So he disobeyed God by being at home instead of being at the war front. He was at home. He saw Bathsheba, he fell lust of her, he seek for her presence, he slept with her, she got pregnant. He asked of Uriah to come, and then at the end of the day, what happened? Came back home. He refused to sleep with Bathsheba. He slept because he knew that he is not supposed to go and sleep with his wife at the cost of the war. So he refused. Then he has to give him a letter to Abner for him to be sent to where the war, or should I say the battle, is very fierce for him to die. And then from there he died. He commit murder. He commit adultery with Uriah's wife, and of course the child died, right? Because of that, we all know that Bathsheba was not David's first wife, right? Because of that, he promised her that he is going to make her son a king, and that's why Solomon became the king. And of course, all of us could bear me witness of what happened. Look at the number of women Solomon actually married. The Bible makes us to understand he married how many? 700, 300 concubines. Do you look at the root or the foundation of how his mother and David came about? So I'm not surprised of some of the things he was doing. In fact, it's not about like because David was even saving, you understand, Solomon was even serving God. Even to the point that of course he did not even die in the church, he died in the shrine. Do you understand? Serving Baal. Do you understand? So it's a very bad example for you to say that, you understand, Jesus is from even the lineage of Jesus Christ, you understand, in the first place. Even though we used to say, okay, David, Jesus, David, and all those things, but Jesus Christ himself actually rejected this. And of course, some of the Bible scholars, of course, you can actually DM me on my Instagram so that we can discuss more. You know, some will not even agree with it. So my Instagram link is there. We can dialogue more, and I'll give you more proof to why, you understand, here it's not supposed to be so. But then, well, if at all the prophet actually do so, then I think maybe probably is the will of God for it to happen like that. But me, I did not even know there is something like this that actually happened, not until in this video that somebody says to me that I should check out this video at the comment section, that I decide to check it out. So this is the end of our video. If you like our reaction, you should like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any video you want me to react to, don't forget to drop it at the comment section, and I'm going to check it out. So you remain blessed, and I see you in my next video. Bye bye.